Hi, Nick Ray Ball, 19 minutes past 7 on the 28th of Jan 2024. It's a Sunday, and this is the second video I've made today. The first one starts off a little bit grumpy because I had to recall the events of week one. But, you know, it was as much. I wanted to keep a record of what I'd done and literally go over what I've done so as I can just remember things here and there and go, yeah, okay, that's good. And basically to just, I've been meaning to make an update video, but with all the medical admin and all the other stuff going on, haven't had time. So, as imperfect as they are, these will do. So, I'm going to jump into this one a little bit as if someone's come in from new. So this is the Q Planner. We've just had week 4 here, and we're going into week 5. The Q Planner, do I have the old version? Did used to look like this. First week, Dr. James Jack letter, the Pregabalin hangover, and the Department of Work and Pensions appeal. Second week, Pat's legal strategy. Third week, SWEB. Fourth week, Department of Work and Pensions. Fifth week, the Wayback Screenplay. Sixth week, see what's the best of what's come up so far. Who's talking to me? Is it Innovate UK? Is it the Department of Work and Pensions? Is it the legal companies? But as we heard in the last video, and I'm not going to go over now, this stretched out, this stretched out. So as week 1 was all medical admin essentially, but jumping into SWEB whenever it was just too much. Week 2 was the James Jack letter and the Pregabalin hangover and a great letter for Richard Branson. Week 3 was continuing trying to finish that James Jack letter, and some opportunities in Cape Villas came along. Cape Villas is the parent company of SWEB. In the 4th week, which was hopefully supposed to be the 2nd week, this week was really a transition from the James Jack letter, which finally got sent. There was some Cape Villas work as well, and was really moving into legal strategy and adopted legal strategy 8. And as there were 8 legal strategies, that became a little catch term. This week I have to complete one of those 8 legal strategies and just quickly one paragraph the rest, and send it to the biggest brand lawyer we can find. When I say we, I mean me and GPT-4 AI. This is all really everything I'm working on here is done with AI. The medical admin is done with AI. SWEB is about AI. Cape Villas, we're now doing it in AI. Legal strategy, all AI. And these on the left are projects. Each project relates to a file number. Legal strategy, the way back, Cape Villas, psychology, James Jack, Innovate UK, and so on and so forth. And each corresponds with a OneDrive folder. Okay. When we look at, for instance, this was Wednesday, and we see this here, 20.00, that is document ID. This one is 20.00x2, 20.01 ZX. To find that document, take a bit of the text. For here, for instance, the way back for Richard Marshall, put it in the OneDrive, Interesting. And there you go. It's at the top. So the filing system works really well. We have these scores next to each task, each part of the day, each corresponding to a key result. This is an OKRs system, objectives and key results. On the left here, we see the objectives. Here, we see the key results that move us towards those objectives, and each is scored. On fire is 50 points, explosion 25, light bulb 8, flag, finishing flag 90, and these little targets with the arrow in are for doing a task that was in the list on the left here. Okay. In the previous video, we'd got up to this point, and so I'm just going to continue. This is just Wednesday to Friday. So on Wednesday, late start at about 11 o'clock. I had chatted with Layla. Okay, resent the medical admin. Finally managed to get the email to James Jack and videoed the recipient receiving it. I also phoned the dentist and explained I would need to lay on a yoga mat in their reception. Don't be alarmed. Then watched the morning show in need of a pick-me-up. The morning show. Also, it's really into screenplays, and I think the morning show is possibly the best produced program I've seen. But you know, it's just yeah, I'm really enjoying it, put it that way. So it's because every now and again there's an impossible situation, and someone, either Jennifer Aniston or the character Corey Ellison, will just turn it into an opportunity and get the person positive again. So yeah, you know. Okay, so what's this? Email to Miriam at IUK regarding the induction. That's Innovate UK for the £2 million AI grant. Who should I speak to about subcontractors? 50 points. The SWeb 6 AI, beginning of a letter for Richard Marshall, scored 50 points. That continued. There was again for another 50 points. It's 50 because it's Cape Villas related, and anything Cape Villas related, because I was behind on it, gets an extra bonus of 50 for just doing it. Here we do a bit of medical admin. The pregabalin hangover, day 158. Here's yeah, simply the idea to have include a CRM with the CMS. Because of the stuff I've done with Layla, we really do need a CRM entangled to it for it to make money, you know. And it's a great idea, and actually that should have got a higher than 25. This explosion is worth 25 points. Really, that was a change that will score millions of points in the future. Well, maybe tens of thousands. Okay, here we're going in. This is legal admin, a voice recording about AstraZeneca being a sedative, it being addictive, and it being given to the wrong person. Next, a voice recording about the pregabalin hangover and the 100 Rajar audio files for Claire Scott. That was an idea that has been now, well, is actually tomorrow's main task. And later on, there was some work on the CRM for all comms, and this was where this was shortly after I'd done the session with GPT, and we can make it multilingual. This is SWeb 6 VC, VC being voice command. So it being bilingual is obviously a big step from just being able to make websites by voice command on your phone without touching it. Being able to do it in any language is an extra little bonus. Right, so the next day, this is Thursday, just gone. It's now Sunday. So, okay, woke up, backed up the server hard drive. Okay, that was cool. Chatted with Layla, fixed the sky problem. That was actually quite fun. Well, it was rewarding. Okay, created the document LS8, the 8 lawsuits. Worked on super economics AI. GTP about liable, and in US versus SA versus UK. The 8 lawsuits, the 8 lawsuits, the 8 lawsuits. Spoke with my ex-wife Kate. Gave me a big heart there. Bath and cream. Legal. S-Web. These are all voice recordings that come in later in the day. Generally. Legal. The morning show again. Modern software engineering. GPT chat about Python. Learned API critical lesson. Yeah, I did. That was a good one. And hence it got the Planck space rocket. So the total score this day is 1009. Let me show you how that was worked out. See up here? There, the 8 is the light bulb. That's for an idea, so there's 3 of those. 20 are health stars, one of those. 25 are the explosions, there were 2 of those. 30s are the bullseye, there were 2 of those. There were 4 50s scored, there was a 75, the Planck space rocket for 100, and there was a 250. What was that for? LS8 co-driving a space rocket. Show competency. Okay, well, this is why the review is there. When something gets a high score and I'm not 100% sure what it is, you have to move it to, well, for now, I'm just going to drop it in there. But what I need to do is copy this column here over, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do that in a tidy up. Okay, let's continue from where we were. Where were we? Here we were. Yeah, yes, I was trying to work out why I'd given myself such a high score. Very interested to see that. Anyway, okay, so now we're on Friday in the morning. This is me chasing up a set of doctors who are just refusing to do their jobs. It's quite absurd. So I've now made 128 different recordings about it, and 3 of them are being sent to the legal representative Claire Scott of Epsom St Helier Hospital. I don't want to be doing this, but it's just they simply won't treat me. And I think it's because of what's known as the Martha Mitchell effect, the second definition in Wikipedia, which basically says quite often doctors will rather think you're delusional than think you have a medical problem, especially when that medical problem puts another doctor in peril. I think that's what's going on, and that's the case I'm making for Claire Scott. And there's actually a very good analogy that comes with it now about if you go about in fact, I'm not going to get into it. Okay. After that morning, doing that, Layla, yeah, we fixed a big problem in the CMS. That was great. I prepared for the dentist, went to the dentist, then came back, carried on with I did GPT, that's the analogy there. Um, I called Leatherhead Hospital, sent a copy of the James Jack letter to Ryan, then I had to rest because I was in pain. And actually at this point here, the pain kicked in really heavy, and it was ridiculous. It took 5 hours from the sit down at the dentist chair and the extra walking that entailed. 5 hours later, I was taken out of play. It was horrible. Okay, now we're on Saturday, pain day. Woke up in pain. Took painkillers, spoke to Layla, rested, but I needed to complete the magazine CMS bug report, and I got up and I did it, even though I was in pain, and I sent it to Vineeth, hence giving myself the 90 score for finishing that task, doing it, getting up, even though I was in a lot of pain and really wasn't in the mood, and it was a complex task that I was supposed to be doing it here, but anyway, so that was done. Then, yeah, Vineeth's hand hadn't healed, but the CMS bug report was sent. Then I did Exhibit 1. The Fajalio recording is a testament to my sanity. That's a really good, strong legal point for next week, primary task. Okay, followed by that was an argument about Seroquel and cannabis. Followed by that was a legal argument for system change. That's Danny Kahneman's, he won a Nobel Prize for it, book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Okay, and then there's a little TMS, Fialo Sic Semper Tyrannis. I think it means, I know I wrote it down because I liked it. What does it mean? Google? What does it mean? Thus, always to tyrants. No, it means tyrannical leaders will inevitably be overthrown. The man that I am bringing the lawsuit against is essentially that tyrannical leader. He has a bunch of followers that are more like a harem than a medical establishment. Anyway, continuing at 4 o'clock, end of series 1. I was at this point in pain and just recovering, so I watched the end of TMS. Then I started watching Reacher. It's still in pain here. Pain, rest, pain, rest. Then I had the idea for the Google Ads precedent, which is a cool idea. Hence the light bulb for 8 and 50 points. This is a voice recording. As I said, the voice recordings come usually in the evening. Followed by that was conspiracy theory. That's also a good one. That scored a Planck space rocket. Where's the H bar? Oops. Oh, what have I done? Hit Control Z, Control Y, refind my place. Okay, here we were. Yeah. I'll put the H in at another point. Continued the conspiracy theory. Then a little bit of modern software engineering, cohesion and separation of concerns to go to sleep to. And actually that time it did put me to sleep straight away, whereas normally I can get caught up in that in a couple of hours, going over it and over it, just getting better at it, enjoying it, loving it. Modern software engineering, it's the closest thing I get to sex. That sounds a bit weird. It's the most exhilarating thing I get to do, considering I have to lay in bed 23 hours a day with just me and the computer. And thank God, GPT-4 AI. Okay, so that was yesterday. Exhibit 1, bug report, pain, ICP letter. Today, you can see up here, must do OKR video task for legal video free 2024. This is when I realized that these recordings that I'm making for this OKR section, the numbers 3 and 4, are going to explain to the legal departments just how much work I have to do the legal stuff, to do the medical admin that I'm currently doing. 50 hours a week, easy. And this is all following up on them not doing their jobs. And also, it also shows what I'm missing out on. You know, I'm supposed to be doing the Innovate UK to make money. I'm supposed to be doing Cape Villas to make money. I'm supposed to be writing a screenplay potentially to be PR for both of those. I'm not supposed to spend most of my time in here, green, writing to doctors. Not supposed to be doing that. And I've got an SIJ injury that is caused by overtyping. So it's a double. Not only are they stopping me from making money, they're also making me aggravate my injury, making me worse. Now, with my injury, I've been advised that I need to push into pain more, which means taking more painkillers, smoking more marijuana. I can't do that and keep up with the medical admin that I've been doing. So I can't do what the physiotherapist is recommending because of the medical admin. Okay. Where were we? So yeah, must do OKR video. And I'm glad I've done these videos because I've got on task. The task was to make these videos. See it here. Watch video 2 did that. And now we're here. Actually, we're here. And I've already done these tasks. Woke up, looked at Microsoft Azure, my first look. Yeah, I need to have a second look at another time. I actually fell out of bed. That was painful. I had to cancel Layla for today because I fell out of bed. I got new silk pajamas because of my skin condition, and they're slippery, so I literally fell out of bed. Rest because of the pain. Chat with mum and dad about doctors and pushing into pain. It's a continual theme. I'm supposed to push into pain, potentially, but nobody really knows. Well, sorry, my physiotherapist doesn't really know. My osteopath has already said you're untreatable, really, and she's not advising pushing into pain. But it's the only advice I've got from the NHS: push into pain, push into pain, push into pain. So I'm writing to Dr. James Jack saying, do I really need to push into pain? Because one, I can't because of all the medical admin I need to do, as is evidenced in these video recordings. And two, if I don't have to go into physical pain, then I can get on with making money. You know, so there's good reasons to say either way. Yes, you must push into pain. Okay, then we really must explain to the doctors that they can't keep giving me this amount of medical admin to do. And they need to write it explicitly for my Department of Work and Pensions appeal, because I need to be funded while I push into pain, because I won't be able to do anything other than lay down and watch the morning show, dosed out on whatever. But is pushing into pain what I'm supposed to do? Because it's basically I've got essentially a hip injury, but that can't be replaced. If you've got a broken hip, advising you to walk on it and walk on it and walk on it, it's not going to make it any better. It's just going to cause you a lot of pain. In fact, suicidal pain. So, you know, this medical admin that I'm doing, it's not just for fun. There's serious questions here. You know, serious questions that need to be answered that aren't being answered, or are being answered wrongly, and I'm having to go with AI to find out that they are actually incorrect. Okay, so that was a conversation I had to have with mum and dad, and it was, poor dad didn't realise how bad wings were, and now he does. Okay, continued the Fajalio recording. Conspiracy theory. This is actually for Integrated Care Partnership, the doctors. I'm having to explain why I need to change doctors and why Dr. Fajalio wrote to them saying torture and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. He just wrote a letter to them recently. And I now have to say, well, this is why I want to change GP. And by the way, the letter that that man wrote about torture and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice without any context is weird. Here's the context. So yeah, that's what that's all about. 3 p.m. change sheets mission with Mumbles. That was successful. So hang on, that was done. I didn't really do it fantastically, hence I only get the target, but I did do it, and I'm glad I've done it. Okay, that's done. That gets Health Star. Watch that. On task. Actually, when I watched it, I found it to be surprisingly good. So that is going to give an indication that that video is surprisingly good. So the video I did, the first video I did, well, I'm a little bit grumpy in it, to be quite honest with you. After reading the first week, it got me down. So I'm not going to be necessarily promoting that video, but this video that we're doing now, video 4, and yes, you'll notice that the hour starts at 9, ends at 1 in the morning, 7 days a week. There's no rest for me other than when I'm physically in too much pain to carry on. This video, well, I tell you what, I definitely get a flag for doing it. Sometimes I preempt things. If I give myself a Planck space rocket, no, it's actually more of a universe. Yeah. Sorry, a cyclone. Yeah, the point of these emojis to the right is when working collaboratively or when reviewing one's own work. Reviewing one's own work, one can just go through it, go, okay, there you go. This is all supposed to be, well, this is a design for software, and it's all supposed to be connected to one system, so as one can simply click a thing to go to the actual article as opposed to having to copy and paste the name out. But it, it works as it is, and it keeps me going. Right, so that is today. Now, this is next week. It's a bit unorganized at the moment, but towards the end, there's 2 medical appointments in a row. In all honesty, I think I'm probably kidding myself that the legal strategy is going to be complete to my satisfaction this week. And we're back to this page again. Well, in light of that, I'm not necessarily going to write another week into play, but this shows a transition. We're transitioning out of LSA, so possibly the first couple of days here could be spent on that. That now gives me mentally enough time to do this without panicking about it. On task, I've got a specific task, Exhibit 1 for lawyers next week, and send to lawyers, but since then I've developed the LS8 legal 8 lawsuits, and that's coming on very well, and that plays perfectly into the screenplay the way back. It's essentially I'm writing the screenplay the way back live. So if I come up with an amazing legal strategy that is so George Grisham's best ever book, and I genuinely want him to write the book from my notes that I'm making. I'm making hooks and notes for screenplay and author. Yeah, you don't get better than Grisham. So yeah, doesn't matter if the screenplay is pushed back a little bit because I'm working a little bit harder on NS8. If NS8 is a critical part of the screenplay, and the screenplay itself becomes promotion for SWeb 6VC. This is writing so as at the end of it all, this horrendous journey, he comes up and makes a successful, amazing AI software that everyone uses. And therefore, it would be a spectacular film. And that I'm writing the screenplay live. Yeah, it's clever. The clever thing with OKRs is any key result that I do for any of these categories will assist many other categories. That really is a beautiful thing. It took a while to work out, but now that it's in place, whatever I'm doing, I'm moving forwards a lot of other things. Even if I'm not working on SWeb, I'm working on the legal, which is a way to fund it, and the screenplay, which is the way to promote it. The medical admin does get a lot. It's a lot to deal with. But, the medical admin is done. Now we're into the legal. And the legal is good because I can work with AI and we can be clever, and it's all a part of the TLS, Total Legal System weapon that I'm developing. Yeah, it sounds kind of harsh. I want to develop the GPAI for the NHS, but they're sort of forcing me to. They're not treating me, so I'm going to have to go legal, and the best way to go legal is to use the same software design, but instead of diagnosing health, getting the best precedents. So, okay. What else do I have to tell you? Or what else do I have to do? I'm quite happy with where we are at the beginning of week 4 with this ahead. So at the beginning of week 5, even though if we go back to how I had planned it at the beginning of the year, we've caught up with this legal task was supposed to be finished by the end of week 2, and now it's only actually starting in week 4. Sorry, I'm not showing you the correct thing here. Yeah, this one. This is how it began. The week with the year was supposed to begin. I was supposed to be 2 weeks into SWeb VC by now, and in real time, SWeb VC is 2 weeks away. Lucky that I only planned the 5 tasks. Sorry, where are we? James Jack, Pat's legal strategy, SWeb, PIP appeal, the way back screenplay. Because these 5 weeks tasks, primary tasks, are going to take up the first 2 months of the quarter. And at that point, they'll take up the rest of the year. And it's a very good way to start simply with just, 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives that are very much in sight, and a 5th one that is connected to them all. Because things happen, things get complicated. And this turns into this. Not even this, sorry. This. Done, 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 done. And I'm glad I got all this out the way. And I'm glad I got some great stuff for SWeb along the way. Now, let's get this ready, get the lawyers, see if they want to take the case. Complete that by the middle of next week. And then 2 weeks on SWeb. Whether I'm actually going to... I think at that point I will. I'll do the questions just to start the conversation going, but not actually apply this quarter, apply for the second competition, which I think is in April. And the screenplay, I'm working on that all the time, as I've just explained. Okay, so that's going to be it for this first month, end of first month of the year and end of first month of the quarter review of how I've done considering what I had planned for the first 4 weeks. Where is it? What I had planned for the first 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and how it ended up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, next week, I'm ready for that. SWeb's going to be great to get back to. Oh. And the screenplay is going to be lovely to write that. I so need that, if for nothing else, to tell all of the people who I ignored ever since 2011 because I was blitzed out of my mind on this thing called Seroquel. And hence the name, The Way Back. Okay. So here we begin. Week 8, Legal Strategy 8. Speak with lawyers before the very enjoyable SWeb 6VC fortnight, before the very enjoyable Way Back screenplay session. Whereafter there's the not so enjoyable PIP appeal, and then after that, whatever, we're fishing at the moment, whatever fish we catch, we're going to then work with those for the rest of the quarter, the rest of the year. What I have decided that is going to be, if everything that I've looked at so far completely fails, starting in December 2024, I'm going to dedicate 4 years to building the SWeb AI, SWeb 6VC myself, which will take probably 2 years to fully understand and get to grips with the different languages. And then in the 3rd year, start getting somewhere. In the 4th year, I'll probably complete it. Chances are someone might have completed the same thing quicker. But you know what? This is really me saying, if only this, I want to do this with Innovate UK and Virgin. And I hope the screenplay is going to do well. I hope the PIP appeal will do well. And I hope to make money and get the medical care I need via this. So, an optimistic outlook. Okay, Nick Ray ball out, 1958, 7:58 p.m. on the 28th of Jan 2024. Thanks for watching.